Hey everybody, welcome to lesson 1.4. Here's your objective. I will be able to use tables to solve problems involving ratios. Okay, let's just jump right in. So what is a ratio table? Well, a table is a ratio table when all columns can be simplified to the same ratio. So right here, for every one bottle of soda, we have 3 bottles of juice. Every 2 bottles of soda is 6 bottles of juice. I can reduce this to 1/3 ratio. If I divide 2 by 2, I get 1. If I divide 6 by 2, I get 3. And so on and so forth. If I have 3 cups of soda or 3 bottles of soda, I'll have 9 bottles of juice. That can be reduced down to a 1:3 ratio. Divide 3 by 3 and you get 1. Divide 9 by 3 and you get 3. So a ratio table, if I were to continue this table, all right, if I were to have 4 bottles of soda, how many bottles of juice would I have? 12. All right, it's basically skip counting once you get going. Counting by ones, and this one's counting by threes. 3, 6, 9, 12. So this little note right here just says the ratios 1 to 3, 2 to 6, and 3 to 9 are equivalent, since each simplifies to a ratio of 1/3. All right, let's try some together. Here's a question. A patient receives 1 liter of IV fluids every 8 hours. At that rate, find how many hours it will take to receive 4 liters of IV fluids. So right now I have a 1 to 8 ratio. Okay? How do I go from 1 to 4? We're doing multiplication and division here. So I did 1 times 4 equals 4. Whatever I do to my top part, I do to my bottom part. So if I multiplied 1 times 4, I'm going to have to multiply 8 times 4. And 8 times 4 equals, you guessed it, 32. All right? So I would it would take 32 hours to receive 4 liters of IV fluids. All right, let's try another example. To make cranberry jam, you need 12 cups of sugar for every 16 cups of cranberries, a 12 to 16 ratio. Find the amount of sugar needed for 4 cups of cranberries. So how can I go from 6 to 4? Okay, and whatever I do, 16, not 6. How can I go from 16 to the 4? Whatever I do to my cranberries, I have to do to my sugar. Now, notice how they have a second column in here because you could do 2 steps. I don't have to. I'm going to do them both, though. Let me do the quicker way first. I know 16 divided by 4 will equal 4, and I know I could do that to 12. 12 divided by 4 will equal 3. So I am finished. I would need 3 cups of sugar. So I didn't need these middle columns, but they gave them to me, so let me show you what I could do here. All right, let me divide 16 by 2. Divide that by 2, and I'm going to divide this one by 2. 16 divided by 2 equals 8, and 12 divided by 2 equals 6. Now how can I go from 8 to 4? I'm going to divide by 2 again. And up here, I'm going to have to divide by 2 again. Now, you don't have to write these notes up here to yourself, but I think they're kind of helpful to keep you on track. And 6 divided by 2 equals 3, our same answer. So I would need 3 cups of sugar to make 4 cups of cranberries. Or I would need 3 cups of sugar and 4 cups of cranberries to make the jam. All right? So it's a 3 to 4 ratio, really. That would be the simplest form. All right, but sometimes it gets a little bit harder. We need to use scaling to find an equivalent ratio because I don't have a direct way to go from 10 to 15. So this time I actually need my middle column. So this says cans of corn are on sale at 10 for $4. Find the cost of 15 cans. Okay, so 10 cans of corn for $4. How can I make 10 become 15? There's a couple ways, but I think the simplest way would be to divide by 2 first. And as long as I could divide both of them by 2, I could use that. All right? If I said divide by 5, I'd have to do 4 divided by 5, and that's kind of complicated for what we need to do. So I'm going to simply just divide it by 2. Whatever I do to my top row, I do to my bottom row. I'm going to divide by 2. And 10 divided by 2 does equal 5. 4 divided by 2 equals 2. Now, how could I go from 5 to 15? So I divided the first time. This time I'm actually going to multiply by 3. So I'm going to multiply by 3, and 5 times 3 does equal 15. So whatever I do up there, I got to do down here. 2 times 3 equals 6. So 15 cans of corn would cost $6. Now there's other ways I could have done this. Could I have reversed it? Yes, I could have. I could have actually, instead of dividing by 2 first, I could have multiplied by 3 and then divided by 2. Let's check that out. Let's multiply by 3. 10 times 3 equals 30. 4 times 3 equals 12. Now, how could I go from 30 to 15? I'm going to divide by 2. 30 divided by 2 is 15. 12 divided by 2 equals 6. So you can reverse the order as long as it works with your computation. Let's try another one of those. A child's height measures 105 centimeters. Estimate her height in inches. Okay, I have to go from 25 centimeters to 105 centimeters. Now if I count by 25, it's 25, 50, 75, 100, 125. I'm not going to multiply because that's going to be too hard. I'm sure there's a way to do it, but I'm not going to get into that right now. 25, I'm going to divide that by 5. Divide this one by 5, and 25 divided by 5 equals 5. What's 10 divided by 5? That's simply just 2. All right, now how can I go from 5 to 105? I know that 5 times 20 is 100. So 5 times 21 is 105. So I'm going to multiply this by 21. That's a large number, but we did it. 5 times 21 is 105. So what do I have to do to my bottom? 2 times 21. 2 times 20 is 40, and one more 2 makes 42. So if you are 105 centimeters, you're about 42 inches. We use scaling to figure that out. That's a little complicated. You have to think outside the box and then put it inside the box. I think it's your turn to do a little bit. You have only one question for me. Just one. It might involve scaling, it might not. You can use scaling if you want to. I don't know. Your turn. Joe runs 8 kilometers in 60 minutes. Doing a lot of running lately. At this rate, how long would it take him to run 2 kilometers? So you have to go from 8 to 2. It's asking you for 2 steps. But I think you know how to go from 8 to 2 in 1 step. But can you do that same step over here? All right, I don't know. You could do both steps, or you could do 2 steps, or you could do 1 step. Copy this chart and fill it out. And if you don't want to do this middle step, if you want to skip it and do it in 1 move, that's okay with me. All right, we'll see you soon. Good luck, and bye.